shores and woodlands of the north, it's history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fishery. To the farmlands of the southern counties we'll look around, my friend, at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan. And sometimes when the moon brings out the diamonds in the snow, and the stillness of the forest lies encased in Arctic cold, the wind might whisper through the trees, listen if you can, it tells you of their beauty in the state of Michigan.
Hi there, come on in. It's Thursday night and we are heading into a very cold fourth week in January in Michigan. During February, there's traditionally been a sturgeon spearing season on Black Lake. We're going to learn about that from a successful angler who has a tale to tell. I'm Fred Trost.
And I'm Zachary Trost with a report on fishing and outdoor conditions in the north. There's lots of snow and lots of ice. We'll also correct a geographical mistake in last week's Fish and Game Hall of Fame. Did you catch it? Well, stay tuned. You're watching the January 22nd, 2004 edition of The Practical Sportsman. You may have noticed over the months that many Michigan counties have Native American names, and this week's Fish and Game Hall of Fame is no different. The county is said to be named after the Chippewa Indian word for chief or boss, which they pronounced Ogemaw. There apparently was a Saginaw Valley Indian chief who was the inspiration for the name. He was called Ogemaw Kaikito. At any rate, Ogemaw County is located right here in the northeastern side of the Lower Peninsula. Settlers first arrived in 1875 near Ogemaw Springs, where they set up a lumber mill. The area's economy is supported by agriculture and tourism. You might not see the small manufacturing businesses that include plastics, machinery, and auto parts production. There are even oil wells in the southwest corner of the county. Much of Ogemaw County is wooded and hilly, dotted with many small lakes and streams, including the Rifle River. It's these areas of the county that bring us our entries for our Ogemaw County Fish and Game Hall of Fame. Next time on the Fish and Game Hall of Fame, we're going to feature Wexford County.
It's a treat to have a fish like this on stage here. We don't very often have them really entered in the Master Angler or our Hunting and Fishing Awards. But this one, this sturgeon, Lake Sturgeon, came from Black Lake in Sheboygan County, spearing 108 and a half pounds, 70 inches long. It was taken February 17th. Now this is Jay, Papa Jay.
Yes.
Wadirski
Yes.
from Sheboygan, but now Jason, the son, you're the one who speared it.
Yes, actually, luckily now I got the chance to spear him. Our DNR decided that the population was in trouble, so they tried to cut us off, but luckily we had some people in Sheboygan, our hometown, that decided that it was time to fight the DNR just a little bit, and we were able to actually get a limited season on Black Lake. They draw 5 men per fish with a 5-fish limit per season. For our good luck, actually the first year my dad and our cousin got drawn, and then the following year one of our cousins got drawn. And last year, actually, when I got my fish, my dad was on the ice also. He had also got drawn the same day. So he was in another shack. And the problem with this is he's always taught us how to spear the fish. He's never taught us how to get it out of the hole. So actually one of our good friends who's been fishing with us now for about 15 or 20 years was next to me and come over to help me out. And he's not very good with what he does. In all the years he's been helping fish, I think he's only got 2 fish and he's missed a lot. So it made for an adventure trying to get it out of the hole.
Now, of course, it isn't really a hole. It's like a big rectangular.
Right, yeah, our holes are 6 foot by 3 foot roughly.
How heavy is the spear you use?
The one I was throwing that day runs about 27 pounds. We actually lightened them up and we're running about 17 pounds in them now. But we had those down being, having some work done on those. So I was back to throwing the old spear, which was the heavy one.
Now, a 27-pound spear, though, can you really throw it, or do you just drop it?
When you see this come in the hole, the adrenaline gets going and you throw it.
That is something else. Did you just see it come through the first time and spear it the first time?
Actually, what happened was I was playing with my decoy. I'd heard a little story about using an egg beater and some tassels off a girl's handlebars to attract these fish. And
A girl's handlebars?
well, they got little tassels on the end of the handlebars of a bike for girls.
You don't have those on yours?
No, they don't put them on mine, unfortunately. But and a couple of those had fell off, so instead of letting them sink to the bottom, I'd use my decoy string to try and wrap them around the decoy and pull them up. Well, when I did, I happened to look to my right, and here she come up off the bottom, following my decoy up. And she come from 18 feet on the bottom up to about 4 feet under the ice before I had a chance to get to the spear and spear.
Wow. Now, there were 5 sturgeon allowed to be taken from Black Lake last year.
That's correct. They draw 20. What it is a lottery system. You got to put your name in. They draw 25 names the first night to fish. For every fish that's taken, you lose 5 fishermen. So I was actually drawn on the third day, and there was 2 fish, so actually there was only 15 names drawn that day. And there was 190 people that put their name in that night.
So when the 5th fish is speared, all fishing stops.
All fishing stops. It's done.
Which number was this?
This was number 3.
Very good. And the biggest one of the?
And yes, the biggest one of the year.
Well, that's something else. Wow. What a story. And I bet you just sat over in your shack looking down in that hole and seeing nothing.
Actually, that's exactly what happened, and I was on a different bar, actually. We have little bars on Black Lake.
I know. There's lots of bars. In fact, you get north of Houghton Lake, and there's bars every which way.
But I was on a different bar, fishing probably a half a mile away from where he was, and about 1:30 or so, I got bored, and I called down to his shanty. We have CBs in our shanty to talk to each other, and asked him to send a buddy of ours down that was fishing with him, because I was going to move back up to where he was because they had seen some nice northern pike earlier in the day. And we got the shack moved back up there, and as we were busy cutting the new hole, he come out the door hollering.
How about that?
That's right.
You know what? His story was a lot more interesting than yours.
I'm sure it was. I really came here to help promote the saving of these fish and getting our season back open up there. We are looking to recruit people, volunteers, to help us patrol the rivers along the Mullet Lake and Burt Lake system up there. They have a good program on Black Lake, which has been in place for about 5 years.
Is that the problem, that people are poaching these fish out of the rivers?
Well, traditionally, yes, it's been overfished. Whether it be the poaching or the legal fishing, the numbers have gone down, and we believe a lot of it is the poaching. But I think a lot of it, too, has to do with habitat for spawning has been declining through the years, through sediment coming in and covering up the gravel areas in the rivers where they spawned. So.
I'll be darned. Well, that is something. Where are you going to keep this?
Actually, my uncle is building a coffee table for it to fit in so it can sit next to the couch.
They drink coffee up north too?
No, that's to set your beer on.
Oh, to set the beer on. Oh, I was just wondering. Well, very good, Jason. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Excellent. Congratulations on that. Thanks for coming down and bringing the superfish and telling us about the sturgeon. On wheels, huh?
Yeah, second set of wheels.
Second set, what happened to the first set?
They didn't balance out properly, and with this kind of design, it was rather tippy, so I had to go to the 6 casters instead of 4.
Huh. Now, what about the base here? You didn't have this quite done to this degree before, I don't believe, but it certainly looks like realistic moose country.
That would be my guess and my intention.
What, now like the rock, what's the rock made out of? Is that a real rock?
It's artificial rock. Makes it lighter that way.
Made out of what?
Styrofoam, plaster, mache, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And you paint it with rock paints?
Yeah, special rock paints, Fred.
Oh, that's neat though. That really adds a lot having a base like that.
Well, it definitely adds to the mount.
And now we have the bracket right here. And this is where the moose is going to go, huh?
That's where the moose is going to go, and that was quite a design problem in itself because of the weight and the angle that I wanted the moose to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to work now.
You're pretty sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
What percentage?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay, well, some of us are skeptical. Okay. How am I doing? I can't see.
You can walk. You got to hear this. You got to hear.
How much does this sucker weigh?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Whoa. Well, it's more than a bag of salt for the water softener, I'll tell you that.
No. What I want you to do, we're going to tip this up. I want you to hold the moose down in here. And then you're going to guide this on. What I want you to do is set the peg in the hole, and then I will lift it up.
Okay. Will that little swivel bracket really hold Bullwinkle? Well, we'll find out next week. We'll put him up there and see. But right now, remember in the fishtail, we were talking about sturgeon, that great big sturgeon with a big 30-pound spear? Douglas Bennett from Northville provided this spear here for our museum. It's a big, long one and a heavy one. It must be one of these 30-pounders. I put it in a bracket here on the wall so you can give it a lift. I don't know how you could throw it, do anything but just drop it. You don't want to drop it on your foot. That's what everybody says. But I tell you, having things on display is one thing, but being able to come here and hoist it, a lot more fun. Now, in our fish room, we do have 2 examples of sturgeon. We have a full mount here. A guy named Ed Polidor brought us this to the museum a long time ago. We just started the museum, but his wife really wasn't keen on having this thing in the living room, I guess, or even in the house. But the sturgeon has a very strange mouth on it, and this thing actually comes down almost like a vacuum cleaner hose, and it eats off the bottom, little barbels that it feels the food and things with. You can see some oil comes out here. That's a problem with mounts and fish like this. It's sticky, but that's oil from the fish itself. So this needs a little repair. And here is a sturgeon up here. This is a head mount of a sturgeon. I tell you, there's quite a story behind that, and we're going to get to that another day. That's our museum notebook for this week. Zachary's Fish and Game Hall of Fame is actually a joint effort between us. Zachary pulls the research off the web on the county for the week, and he roughs out the script, and I go over it and see if there's any angles from my travels that I might want to add. Well, last week I made a last-minute addition, partly from my memory, partly from a map book, and here's what happened on the air.
In 1885, the county was founded as Iron County, and you'd think that the county seat would have been Iron Mountain, but that's in Dickinson County. Maybe you'd think it'd be Iron River? Well, that's in Geographical County. You know, I'm so careful to check out my information, but I figured with Fred's traveling in the UP, I didn't have to double check on his maps or memory, but Mark Bowden sent me an email. He says, I was born and raised in Iron River, but moved to the Metro Detroit area about 15 years ago. I enjoy your television show and was enthused that you were doing an article on Iron County, but I got a little discouraged when you stated that Iron River, the county's biggest city, was in Geographical County. Perhaps you were confused with Ironwood, which is 90 miles west of Iron River. Keep up the good work, but please check your maps.
That was my fault, Mark. I quickly checked the map, saw the big yellow city in Geographical County, Ironwood, and the big yellow city in Dickinson County, Iron Mountain. Iron River didn't catch my eye because it might be big for Iron County, but hey, it's not big, a big town on the map. And when I added these names to Zachary's story, I put down Iron River instead of Ironwood. Now, I have two perfectly legitimate excuses. Number one, I am old enough to qualify for a senior moment. And secondly, at my age, dealing with Iron County, Iron Mountain, Iron River, and Ironwood, whoa, that's just too many irons in the fire. What can I say? Thanks for the correction, Mark.
Well, on that note, get outdoors and enjoy a winter activity this weekend, but think about taking a compass and a map. You never know. We'll see you right back here next week.
Oh, man, I don't know. I think you missed him. I think you missed, huh?
No, he's on there.
Huh?
He's on there.
You sure?
Yeah, I got something on there.
Ooh, now I can see him. Now I can see him.
He's a nice one. He's a good one.
See if you can get him out in the center of the hole more so.
Pretty good.
Huh?
Yeah, you got pretty good, I think.
You got him pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.